you are on.
Alright. Call us to order at 6:32. All existing members are present. Do we need a proper sign, like a signature and attendance sheet for each meeting, or is it just noted?
You're supposed to call to order and call out the names and yes.
Oh, call them out.
Yeah, or a signature sheet, either way works.
Let's do a signature sheet. You can do that. Just one.
Amber recently went to a presentation on this kind of thing, so you can help streamline anything that you
Okay, for the,
You went to the library.
at the community council, yeah,
Yes.
it's about, building better boards and keeping people on your board and
Excellent.
encouraging, involvement from other folks. I have all the notes in the office, I can't remember everything.
Is it like Robert's Rules of Order and all that stuff?
No, it was more about, how to, like when you're trying to recruit somebody for your board, like say you want Brad Bender on your board. You come up with, basically a resume of what you want and you tailor that to him.
Okay.
And then you ask him to go to lunch and you say, this is the kind of person we're looking for, someone who's worked with an
And then
engineering
describe them.
firm and loves Vernon. I mean, so you kind of tailor it to that person. Because a lot of times when you're going to get a new board member, you just go up to them and go, it's only an hour a month, and you kind of like lay it out like that, which that's the worst way to get someone because then their expectation is not to do anything. So you really want to get somebody that's going to come in there. It was all about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, I know your minutes have everything that are needed for attendance and guests and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already there. You don't need to do a sign.
All right. It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, you're noting that everyone's here. We have a potential new member we need to motion in, right, Brad?
Well, technically, the town has to make the approval, but I think you could put in that he is here on an ex officio basis. That makes sense.
Vote on anything, you can vote, yeah.
And then Thursday night was voted in.
But I think that way you can say it.
So Joe's here, as a potential member of the park board.
That Carrie mentioned before.
Yeah, at the open house.
At the house, that's right.
At the open house. Okay. Sorry.
I know a lot of people that night.
Okay, so it sounds like the town will confirm that on Thursday, and then, okay. So town to confirm. Well, welcome, thanks for joining us. Sure. Glad you're here.
Joe, I spend more time with you like than Lisa than anything you want to tell us about yourself. Like long walks on the beach.
Recently retired and just have a long list of things trying to get caught up at the house. And so I've been very, very busy for a very long time. And so I'm trying to get used to the whole retirement thing. So it's, people are asking me to do some other things, but trying to transition into it. But I'll try to help you guys as much as I can.
Congrats on the retirement. I liked your email address too. Is there a story there?
Worked with a lot of critters, but we had a dog named Toad, and did a lot of research with this type of frog. So
It's an easy one to remove.
and it's haven't come across with anybody else with it.
You're right, it's very unique.
It's not Joe Rob 554,000.
Yeah. All right, we need to approve the 2 minutes in front of you from March 9 and April 6.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from March 9th meeting and April 6th meeting.
I'll second that. Carrie, are you in favor?
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Okay.
That's a vote. So Wayne motion, Matt seconded. All in favor? All right.
You might note you didn't need it back. You don't like
Wayne, you had, or that's not Wayne, being the first. Brad, you had some items for tonight's agenda. Do you want to talk about those now, or you want to wait?
Either way, this morning I sent out an email to everybody with a revised schedule for the restrooms, because based on the fact we don't have enough match money yet, I went ahead and just basically moved it a good 6 months.
Well, do you know how much, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, it's just, it's mine.
No, it's not.
Is your day, do we know how much?
About 50, 60,000 is what, because the other part I sent was the capital improvement plan. If you remember, I did one that was for about 750,000. Well, the bond council I've been talking to recommended we stay closer to 400,000. So I revised the plan, and that is the number one item there is, if we can get the revenue bond that they're recommending set up, that will be the first thing that we can take out of it, is to pay for it.
Did they give you any idea how long it would take to get that, like from start to finish? Is it like 6 weeks, it's 6 months?
Last Monday, I talked to him, and it was 3 to 4 months. But then I sent him an email today, is there anything I need to be doing for Thursday? And they haven't answered.
Because I mean, probably the first thing is we have to establish that debt service fund.
Well, that'll actually come, again, I'm maybe getting out of order a little bit, but they are we can't do a GO bond. A GO bond won't generate enough revenue at all. What they're recommending is a lease revenue bond, which is pretty common. School systems do it a lot. You set up a building corporation, and then that building corporation is a holding company for the actual money, and the term can be 5 years, 10 years, 20, whatever. I don't know the structure of that holding company yet as to who will be on it or how.
Yeah, you have to have a board.
Yeah, but they recommend that, and we can go up to, they said to about 400,000. And they see that as pretty feasible. They did mention it might be the smallest one anybody's ever done. So, hey,
With that, get everything done?
that would give us 400,000. That wouldn't do everything. Remember the capital plan I had before was 750 to do about 1.2, 1.5 million overall. The one I did this morning, 400,000, gets us about 700, 800,000. And a big chunk of that is for the park board. But it's not as big a chunk as it was before, and it's not as big as what you had in the 5-year plan. Because part of it is when we do a building company, it has to have a building. That'll be this. And it's not that the majority has to be spent on the facility, not necessarily the building, the facility. But it's a better plan and better structure if we can spend more money on the facility, or a majority, if you will, short majority of the money on the facility. And then we can still do other things like Pike Street sidewalks,
Yeah.
do CCNG paving, because that'll give us match. That's what the whole goal is,
Yeah.
was to build some match money, because we don't like the match. But anyway, that is part of it, so that the restrooms count as the facility, paving the alley, paving the lot. And again, I listed all this stuff. Stuff in your office that we've talked about, with modernization, of the computers, and compliance, and things just like building the website and stuff better, and all that counts. Even some of the utility work.
And I just know from what I've done, you have to have all your ducks in a row. You have to have engineering,
Yep.
quotes and things like that. You can't just say, hey, I want to borrow $400,000 on, and use the building as collateral. And you don't wanna go back the next year and ask for more, we need to do it all at
Yes,
once.
that's the thing, that's exactly right. And I've been talking to Sean Kleinpeter, I think is how you pronounce his last name, out of Whiteland, and he specializes in small
Oh,
towns.
okay.
And so he's helpful, and Kimberly Blanchett from Burns Lumber, who is very helpful, and they are trying to tell me that they're gonna have their fees as low as they can get,
That's good.
which still is substantial for us.
Did you say Kimberly
Yes.
Blanchett?
Blanchett. The biggest problem is the GO bond we talked about initially, our cap was $55,000. And that's, I mean, that wasn't gonna be enough to even, it sounds like enough for the restrooms, but it wasn't enough to pay for the consultants.
It's capped because of the size of the town and.
It's all of this is based on so many things with your assessed valuation, your rates, your levy. It's a laundry list of things, and the GO bond is the smallest because it almost matches what we get from,
From our levy.
from our levy every year. But the revenue bond that they worked out, like I said, they set it around 400,000. We keep going.
That's what I was trying to understand, so how would it be serviced? Would it be serviced through property tax allocation, or?
Yeah, it would be, so you set up a debt service fund, and then, depending on how long your payback is on the bond, it's just like a mortgage, and then you levy that money from your tax base. So $400,000 over 20 years is not gonna be,
Is that the term?
I mean, that's,
Well, that's what we're talking about. No, nothing's in.
nothing's in.
I understand, but you're aiming for.
I would think 20 years, but I don't know.
I'd go out as far as you can, just because you want the levy for your taxpayers to be as low as possible.
Right.
But then we'd be paying interest on that as well, as a town?
Well, you levy for that too. You levy for the whole payment every year.
But what happens if you go out 30 years, but then you wanna do another round of funding?
That's becomes one of the problems because they kind of recommend you stick in a 5-year capital plan. And you're already financing it over a 20-year period. They say you can roll into, but if you get into long term, it's that much harder
Right.
to create new projects and to make them fit into the funding you've already established.
Like the school, I think we had like maybe 10 bond issues, and you levy for all of those, you just add to that debt service fund every year.
But we'll probably.
Yeah, I mean, the school's different.
And there are other funding methods they talked to me about. And one of them is to establish a park district. I mean, you already have the park board, obviously, but a park district is a different animal. We can do it town-wide because of the trail being a park asset that goes all the way through the town. But they said that could, I mean, again, I let them make some of these decisions and tell me about these things rather than saying it will or was.
But your rationale.
But that is an idea, and they even mentioned down the road, that's a way that the holding company can, I don't want to say expand,
So the reduction, you originally had a higher number, so the rationale to lower that was the type of bond? Is that what?
but, well, because of our limitations. We can only do so much. Our limitation isn't going to be 750, it's around 400. I mean, that's what I had to send them the budget order that you gave me, they looked up our assessed valuation and all these other things, and it didn't take that long to say, here's your cap.
You're a little too, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if we could stay at a higher cap, but if it's not supported by the law, by statute.
So that's what dictates that.
Yeah, they rolled out different things that they mentioned about this percentage and that percentage. Bring us that understanding.
So tell me again, then, where, from start to finish, where are we in that process? Right now, I know it's very preliminary, but.
Very preliminary. We have not hired anybody or done anything. I am just trying to starting out, find the 50, 60,000 we have so we can finish the restrooms. But being that that got a lot more complicated than just going to the bank and getting a bridge loan that we could pay for later, I said we're not gonna be, we'll have to re-quote them come late fall for next year's construction, which is still fine with the foundation. Oh, yeah, we're still in good shape. We were very aggressive.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was, originally I was gonna get a bridge loan at German American for $50,000 and pay it back out of a GO bond. But all of a sudden it got very complicated and we maybe couldn't have paid it back. out of the GO bond.
Anything else?
No, that's quite a bit.
Is that basically, the money was just for the restroom to get, and how short are you on the restroom?
About 50 or 60,000.
So that will match what you're missing, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yes, that's exactly, yes.
Can we get
We have
all-
75,000 from the foundation, about 15 from Friends of Historic. Depending on how I worked on some of this and maybe tried to make some changes, the quotes were at 142. And we still have the engineer. So we thought 100,000 would do the project and it's looking more like 150. And it's just, that's the way these things are. But yeah, it's part of, if you'll see, if you've looked at your email, there's 2 attachments I sent. One is the schedule for the restroom and how it was before, very aggressive, and then moved some of the dates on out. And then the other is a capital improvement plan that lists different projects. And one of them is for the park for match money. And I think now I've got down around 75,000, which would leverage 300,000. Before, though, in our 5-year plan that was adopted was it in May or April? The 5-year plan has a budget of more like 750,000. So that's what we were trying to get. Obviously, we're not going to get halfway there. But that's, hey, we've got to start somewhere. And I would like, I guess the main thing, I really want this board to help look for money. And let's get into a grant finding mode. Wayne's been great about it and, has everything here that you've done, but we need to continue in that mode, trying to find more money. A lot of the things that were in the 5-year plan that we called out are things that we could maybe get grants right to start with without having to wait on this bond issue. We don't have to do all the work in the 5-year plan of this bond issue anywhere we can find money. And one thing that's been brought up to me a lot lately is signage. The more signage we can start doing around town, people don't even know the Commons Park exists because we don't have a sign anywhere until you're at the Commons.
Yeah, gotta be there before you know.
Exactly. But that's something I need help. I'd be glad to work on it rather than cleaning gutters. But we need to really get in a grant mode, I think. And that's where I'm asking you guys to help lead that effort.
I was thinking that, Mary Jo and I had been talking about sending out like a mailing to some of the people that went to school here, get a mailing list from the Vernon Alumni Association. And because I know there's people out there that will donate, maybe get with Dixie Tempest and send this out, like Cy Adams, I know he would help. A lot of people would help, but
Put their names on the flag.
yeah, but if we said, this is what we're gonna do at the gym or in the town and ask for donations, we might get, several $1,000s that way.
But I copied you on an email today, I think you may have seen from Victoria. She had the old address, so I added in the proper addresses, because we need to be talking to Cersei. When this one, have they contacted you about a walkthrough yet?
They just said sometime after the 18th, but that's been.
Because
we've been
anyway-
waiting on- Yeah.
Did we close that finally today?
I got the final, well, we've got all the money, but they need to do a walkthrough before we do like a final report.
But I'd like to get a couple of those closed up and then.
Yeah, I
get
think
Cersei
the
and
NHS is
Reed.
closed, right?
Yeah.
So all we have to do is do the walkthrough and then do the final report.
MHS just sent me a message on round 2, but it was more about opening up a local unemployment office, per se, like offering grants to support programs to do an unemployment campaign to help people. So I didn't think it fit anything that we had going on now, but it just sent me that.
Well, and one other change, remember we talked about the kitchen and Jeff, he's not here, but he had applied for money through Subaru. I don't know if anything's going on with that, but the library is wanting to do that out of a separate project on their own. And I said, that's great. We cleaned the thing out completely finally, and they're on track to maybe move that fully forward for us. But I think, like I said, after we get through this, maybe whatever inspection or closeout, I'm gonna approach Cersei and Victoria and see what else can we do here that we can start. But there's so many grants out there, I don't even know where to start searching. But, I mean, really, I think we're just missing out on some possibilities. Now, the time is right to really go. I'm trying to find match money through the bond. But that doesn't mean we can't apply.
Sure.
We had talked about some events, I mean, it's.
Sponsors.
And sponsors, and I kind of dropped the ball on that, just getting that out to the winter. But now we're in a lull here where we're not having open gym. Our busy season here starts right after summer, when basketball picks up. There are teams that rent the gym for their AAU teams. There's church league basketball. Things pick up here mainly because people can't be outdoors anyways. Like, our busy season runs from October to basically March or April. So maybe getting our signage up and ready, maybe this is the time to get those sponsors, get those banners made, and then our sponsorship season is October through September. You know, maybe this is the play and it's not a calendar year. Maybe we set a goal, like our goal is to get 20 sponsors at $1,000. We said 500. I mean, I was just throwing out numbers.
Mhm.
Is there a number that you think really, I mean, if we can get the data on how many people we have here for all of these events, I mean, those are real numbers we can show people of our foot traffic and who is in here and how many people they have access to with a $500 ad or $1,000 ad. Like, I threw those numbers out, but maybe it's time for me to just finish that and to approach people now for an October cycle.
I agree. And maybe you have a two-tier, a 500 and a 1,000.
Yeah. And
I have a
different
lot
sizes.
of people that will buy immediately, that I've spoken with already.
Great.
Okay.
I can probably get Mark for it.
I can be a 4 in a hurry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether those are $500 or $1,000, I mean, that's I mean, you're talking $4,000 or $8,000, somewhere in between there. Do we want to, do those funds, I guess, I mean, some of the things are like, when you're talking to a sponsor, what are those funds going to go to?
That's the
Like,
thing.
so what does this do? Is this supporting operations? Is it supporting programs? Is this supporting facility improvements? Like, I guess deciding what we're talking about when some people are gonna donate no matter what, like, all right, it's for the gym, you know, it's
The bathroom fund.
yeah, I mean, do we have a true, like,
I would never call out operations as a part of it. We should be able to figure that out ourselves.
yeah,
But either programming or some kind of facility improvement. I guess it could go either way on some of that,
I like facility improvement, and I don't think that we should be specific. Facility improvement at the gym.
and then list things that we have planned, like,
Yeah.
just, these are
Yeah,
some of the
like a
things that we are
laundry list.
trying to do at some point, so. Because we have the schematic drawings of the bathrooms, we have the schematic drawings of the kitchenette, storage area,
Like the windows and we still have.
I was gonna say, we've got another whole room we could do.
Yeah, but.
And maybe that should be, because the restrooms, I mean, we have the foundation money, we have some other, we could do, ask for more money for them, but we've already put out quotes for them, we haven't been permits, I kind of.
do we know how our pricing changes for those quotes now that we are 9, 10 months later? And-
Might get better. I mean, we didn't have quite as many people, part of the reason being that we're so busy with other work. And I'm gonna make some changes the next time around. One of the big changes being, we were gonna do the women's first and then the men's, so we'd always have one shared. We'll just let them do both and go use the soccer restrooms right outside the door. And that should save a substantial amount of money. So, we may get better. We may, I mean, again, any kind of bidding at this point in time is really, it's still, the moment you open them, you don't know what's coming, you won't know if it's gonna be, I mean, one of the quotes said that they reserve the right, because of copper and plastic prices changes, to escalate anytime a week after.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know,
Like, wow.
we can't accept those kind of terms, but that's what,
Could we just do the electric, like I know that was like 40, right around 40,000? Just do that and then work to get the money to do the rest, because we, you know,
I'd rather do it unified and get it all done at once. The worst thing you could do is get it set up and not.
and not be able to finish, yeah.
Yeah, and then you, yeah. And I would just rather you hit it all at one time. But I had just mentioned to them a little bit ago, I don't know if you've heard back from Subaru on the kitchen, but the library, as you may know, really wants to step in and take on that project. We've cleaned it out completely for them,
Okay.
and they're gonna dive in, and they may come up with some funding for the appliances and
Awesome.
some other things. And again, it's drawn up, it's permitted. If it comes down to a matter of just getting a few walls up in there, and, you know, so that may be a real reality at this point.
Yeah, I was looking last week and I didn't, in my old emails and the submission, it didn't have a clear timeline of when they would announce it, but it did say in June. So we should know any day.
Good.
Yeah.
But again, I think just, kind of like Carrie said, for sponsorship opportunities, you just need to say facility improvements, not for operations, not for maintenance, but facility improvements, and the key going to be more windows
Yeah.
and one remaining room that needs to be turned into a room like these. And that wasn't that about 40,000?
Roughly 9 for the windows, 5 for the floors. We were getting the HVAC for about 5, so, I mean, you're about 20 right in there.
Yeah, I'd say probably it's up to 30 now. I mean, seriously.
Because there's plaster in one corner that needs to be repaired, I mean, there's some other things that need to be done in that, so 25 to 30 is where I would
Well, one facility improvement we could do here that would be almost unseen, but is definitely needed is electrical work. I mentioned the fans in the gym don't work now. And I don't wanna call that maintenance, but these are things that need improvement. The breaker box here is from 1920, they don't make the parts anymore.
Does it have the cylindrical fuses?
We have some of the big bus boy fuses if you handle it. If you-
We're in a small conference room.
Yes.
It's not,
Yes.
what's that? The tubing.
But anyway, facility improvements, I think, can cover, and then we can get a laundry list of specifics to go with that. But I think that's, in my mind, if you're gonna go for sponsorship, that's what you're, and again, windows, and we could put windows in the office.
Yeah, on the front
Yes, the whole,
facade of the building, we didn't even get into that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Judy Malone asked me about it yesterday.
yeah, the entryway.
When are we gonna fix the front up?
Yeah, that's a big thing, the
Yeah,
entryway.
so I mean, there's, we can come up with a list of things. That's not a problem.
So are you thinking for like 5 or 1,000, like different size banners? Bigger, smaller?
Yeah, we could do
Big-
bigger, smaller, like, and like for the, like, it's 1,500 sound appropriate.
Yeah, I think so.
We have a size banner that we think should be, I mean, that's a pretty good sized wall, so I
We
mean,
got lots of wall space.
even, there's,
You could sell somebody on sponsoring a new scoreboard, and the scoreboard would be a TV instead of the old bulb and computer terminal. It's basically a large screen TV and an app. But we could put a big sign up, scoreboard sponsored by.
How long though?
And how much?
Oh, you just do that as one of you, either 500 or 1,000.
Would it be for the season? Or like a year?
Maybe the sponsorship.
So a year would, sponsorship gets you displayed for 1 year? Is that right? Also, I think there would be a way to. have
Some
a-
kind of renew, you need to figure some kind of renewal, because you
Yeah.
don't wanna put all this up there and in a year start saying we need to take it down. That's, but there's I think, you just gotta,
Maybe we can get some of the locals.
yeah, I don't know if I'd be hard on a year.
I don't know how the city does the ballparks.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with an annual or every other year or something like.
We used to sponsor it at Edinburgh and it was for a year.
I think that's
So
what-
almost everything we sponsor is a year.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, well, however you, I mean, again,
I just wouldn't want the scoreboard to permanently be, just one entity. I mean,
so something
Unless they
big,
bought it.
$10,000.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
expensive.
Forever, will be.
Yeah, if they
That's
wanted
okay.
to,
I'm just pointing out, that's one of the kind of things, it's a facility improvement that somebody can put their name on. That's what I'm looking for, is things that people, I mean, my experience, people like to have their name specifically saying, I paid for that, contributed to that, yeah.
we did, at one point, we're revisiting, we were kind of already talked about some of this before, about having 3 fundraising events. The Spring Tonic is a fundraising event,
Rusty Blade will be here again.
and then doing one other, like, our trivia idea kind of came away, remember when we do that the first week?
Yeah.
What it gets into is like a few people trying to do a lot of things. I mean, it's just classic burnout / all right, we need to all do this for, every one of us has busy weekends already.
Oh, I know.
So,
The library did movie night out here.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
You did?
yeah, I followed their page pretty closely, and I meant to re-promote it, and then I was
Really?
gone.
It looked like the mummy from the
The Mummy.
screenshot.
The Mummy, that's-
I would love to.
Have they, I'll talk to Mary, she and I gotta talk about a couple other things, but have they set that up again? Because I think that is a tremendous.
Everybody, they didn't have real good attendance, but they acted like they had enough that they want to do it again.
Yeah, they had nine people.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they felt like it, they need to continue to try to.
We could, I mean, I think the library would work with us, we could do a trivia night at the library, because I went to one of those, and it was like $25 a person, and, it was a good fundraiser for them, and they probably let us
Well,
use
I do it.
that big room. I mean, but it's so hot out in the gym right now.
Oh, I do it in the gamer.
The game room.
Yeah,
You couldn't get a lot of people in there though,
that's true.
because we filled the gym like probably
You're right.
halfway.
It was half full.
It was half full, yeah.
Well, we can do it again, just have to detail.
Yeah.
10 p.m.
No, October.
Well, I was, we did it out there and it was like
Yeah.
end of April, beginning of May, it was nice. But we could do one maybe this summer at the library and then one this fall in the gym. I mean, because when we did the trivia night last time, I think we made $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, having something like that. I mean, technically proceeds from the springtime go to Friends of Historic Vernon,
Yeah.
to that fund. That's actually still for the bathroom.
Yeah.
What were our numbers this year?
Net revenue is about $1,000.
I think it might be closer to 1,500.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I just got the
Just-
final
got it,
stuff
okay.
from Anna.
This year we had just over 30 participants, which is a lot lower than last year. I heard from multiple people that day that they've seen lower attendance at a lot of 5Ks this year just because of disposable income issues for people. But I think also last year we were helped by the trail ribbon cutting. So just, as always, but more so this year, our sponsors carried us on making revenue off of that, not the participation. They covered the timing fee and a little more, and that's about
Are we
it.
seeing a growth in sponsors or just we hitting just like some of the
It's-
same sponsors?
It is similar each year, but usually there's one or two new ones and someone drops off, but the overall revenue is about the same each year. I can't remember the total.
Both hospitals,
Yes.
Schneck
They're-
and,
they do it
Stevenson,
every year.
Firefly,
Yeah,
and then Laura Corwin,
Yeah.
she usually,
she and her brother both donate.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll have like a couple others for,
Decatur Mold, did they?
Decatur molded this year and have done it one other time in the past out of 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fundraising event, I mean, you
Yeah.
guys do a great job.
Well, like I said, I'll contact CERC as we get some of this other stuff wrapped up for sure. But yeah, sponsorships, I think so, like you said, now's maybe the time to strike. So that we'd have time to get things put up on the walls September.
Okay.
I mean, Church League basketball hasn't been playing through the summer, but they ran all the way from September through March. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people ready. There was 2 baby showers this weekend.
Yeah.
Those signs are gonna be seen by more than just sports team. And one of the facility improvements can be ventilation. We can't air condition it, but we talked about ventilation once. And that's
It
just-
would be nice if we could get some kind of a signage out on the soccer field too, because they'll have hundreds of people out there for
I was
it.
wondering about that fence, but they probably want
Yeah, they probably
to, they want to fundraise for themselves.
If we put it on the building, you
Oh,
know.
facing the, okay.
Well, they took down their sponsorship sign that they had there before. It's been down.
Yeah, they put it up during their season though, don't they?
No, they have that.
Yeah, they forgot to put it back. It's like one of those things.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm with you, I think we need to look at our grant options.
well,
Yeah, but some of this will be like help match per grant, it'll be supplemental things, but
yes.
if we even maximize some of these things, we're looking at $10,000 to $20,000, 30 maybe,
Yeah.
if we're really successful over the next 6 or 8 months. I mean, it moves the needle, that's not chump change, it definitely moves the needle, but like it doesn't move our timeline, and I'm impatient. If you don't know that.
Okay.
So, did we get any other, so we haven't met since our project, our plan was accepted, that just went pretty smoothly, 'cause I don't think we've had a meeting.
I don't think we have, you?
No.
I was trying to remember what date that was that we,
End of April, beginning.
Yeah. But no, it was fully accepted, we have a letter about it. So there's another source of grants through DNR,
The big one's the land water conservation.
Land and Water, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Land and Water.
That
So
one-
yeah, now you can apply there.
Can the patronicity grant, does that have to be a new facility? Like creating spaces, we use that for the bathroom out there, but that is match dollar for dollar up to $100,000. Can it be the restoration of a new place where people gather?
My understanding, and it's been a few years since I've attended any kind of webinar where they talk about the terms of the grant, or the Creating Places opportunity, but at the time at least, I think it had to be something that activated outdoor public spaces, which is why like the restrooms qualified, because they were helping with the soccer complex and all of that. But that was my understanding, and that's several years ago. So they should have changed that process.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
Yeah.
Because all of that plays into effect, like, if we're doing anything in either one of the parks, that,
Yeah, I think for both of the commons and the arts and history park, it's a perfect fit. I'd say inside the gym building is where I have questions about if that's applicable or not for
Gotcha.
our needs. Yeah.
I don't have anything new, but I'll definitely put this on the front burner. I just really dropped the ball on. I love that. I'm vacationing a lot in the next month, and I just have a lot of downtime where I think I can just get something like this heavy.
Any room in your luggage?
What's that?
Any room in your
What are you
luggage?
gonna put?
Not for you.
Anybody else have anything for the agenda?
I guess park maintenance, right now, do we have an intern hired?
We do, and she's been really great help.
Okay.
I mean, everything's getting taken care of and then some, it's nothing glamorous, but she's been great help. She mowed by herself Thursday and took care of everything. But I mean, I've had her, I mentioned that, like I said, I had her clean gutters.
She get paid, or how's it?
Yes, well, and I hope we get half of it back, but.
We'll know more tomorrow.
Good.
There's a
What's her
program.
name? What's her name?
Elena Johnson, I might ask her if she wants to meet her Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
She only works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for us, but that's enough, and again, I've been keeping her very busy, and she's been great help on all.
So we pay her, and then there's a program where we can get reimbursed for half of her pay if she's still in high school.
Mhm.
They have to be in school to be in that program.
They have to either be in high school or in college, and that in between, when they're a senior and haven't gone to college, it somehow doesn't qualify. But anyway, she was a junior, she will be a senior. So it's
Anything, Karen?
Oh, I'm good, it's all tied up.
I'm asking, do you have anything for the agenda?
Oh, no, I don't have it.
Is the trail grant complete, done?
No, I'm still waiting on DNR. I go back and forth with them and send them a little more information that they already have every few months. And the last time was she said, watch for a check. I'll I'll let you know when it's issued. And then she came back and said, oh, by the way, I still need copies of this invoice or that canceled check.
But she's got everything that way.
So anyway, no. After that part is done, there are some housekeeping matters we can do, because like the trail along the river, we need to, it was supposed to always have, in the original grant agreement, be taken care of by the county all the way from Vernon to Vinegarville. But that doesn't really make sense, because we have our part and now across town property and Water Street. So we have talked about that in the meetings, that what we ought to do is the town take care of ours, county take care of theirs, which is roughly half. But those kind of things need to be done in writing, and easements probably transferred back to be proper. As of right now, we are still taking care of all of it, because it still hasn't been closed out. And she and I, we did the whole thing.
Have we sent someone to the county park board yet to talk to them? No.
I talked to Kristen informally, and I've talked to Seth. Nothing, I haven't been to a meeting for a while. But again, until it is closed out, it's still our project, and it's all our maintenance.
Sure.
But yeah, and that's, I mean, everything's done, has been done. We haven't paid O'Mara their final payment yet. When we get the,
Waiting money from the D-Bar tax.
and then, like I said, we'll have some other little housekeeping matters with it, the paperwork.
Anything else?
I got one last thing. The railroad grant, is there any further knowledge on how that affects our park? Or-
Yes. And I signed a letter today, as a matter of fact. Their environmental document had been going back and forth with SHPO, Federal Railroad Commission, and et cetera, and they wanted a interpretive sign stating, well, SHPO at first wanted the bridge to stay, so they had to justify again why they needed a new bridge. And one of the things they came up with was an interpretive sign about the history of the railroad and history of Vernon and all of that. We don't pay for any of this, but we allow it to be on the commons property, location to be determined, and in the manner and size, and et cetera, has to be determined. So I signed that today. That was acceptable to the town. Because remember, once the project gets a little farther, not the project actually, after this hurdle is crossed, we have a separate agreement with the railroad that they're going to build us a boat dock in exchange for being able to enter our property to get to the bridge.
I'm assuming the details of that haven't been discussed yet, as far as specifics.
Just that is the agreement, but again, this hurdle has to be crossed before we get it done. But I think it'll be, they jumped on that idea, they like that idea. And a boat ramp is pretty standard, if you will, as far as.
And that's at the commons?
Yes, at the commons, and then the fire department can use it. Yeah.
It's been a hot spot the last couple of weeks down there.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, we regrade, that's where she helped me regrade down there. We'll work on it Wednesday.
So I know you're waiting on the environmental stuff, but so now that that hurdle, as you call it, is done, what's the timeline for that?
I don't know, again, they're still passing around this letter for 6 people to sign regarding the environmental. I was just one of them.
It was like, when I talked to them before, it was like a
Oh.
big project.
This is,
Yeah, they started talking to Wayne.
oh yeah, I'm not surprised, this is the way it
Did
is.
you ride the train across the bridge? Did it stop right in the middle?
No, it stopped just on the other side, you've got a great view looking back at Vernon. Another thing, I do think the bridge project needs to happen.
Oh.
The other limitations though is then they go over the overpass, which Wade and speed limitations.
I know.
So they're creating increased
But, yeah.
weight capacity, speed of the train, only to go 500 feet.
Yeah.
To where.
I know, and we talked about that when I met with them, and then I also recently emailed them that we needed to look at it, because there's mortar and brick and plaster coming off of it.
Oh, and the tunnel,
Mhm.
yeah, it needs some maintenance.
I know. and
There's like a
we're on
raspberry
schedule.
bush growing out of
I
it.
know, we're on schedule to meet with
It's
them.
leaning a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they know. It's on the list.
But not part of this project.
No, not part of this bridge project. I mean, not to bore you with details, but the bridge project is going to be construction on site. Now, they're going to build the new bridge probably in North Vernon, and then bring it by rail down here, and all they have to do is have one crane pick up the new one and set it.
So the embankments, will those need, I guess, reinforcement, or is that not?
Yes,
I didn't know if they were still planning on the footprint that they showed us.
it's not as big a footprint as it
Okay.
was. It's not, because if they can build this whole thing and just pick it at one time, they're not assembling it
There.
in the commons at Bennington. That's the difference.
Great.
But again, they're in the environmental process, and that is the long-standing holdup on all projects, federal projects, nationwide, and always has been. Some of these things will last 20 years before we get past this.
What is the process like being a peddler a little bit, like having something at the county fair, promoting park board, promoting projects and getting foot traffic donations?
There, you need to contact the fair board, have a conversation with them. They have certain rates for tables and whatnot, in specific buildings at the fair.
I haven't been to the county fair in 20 years.
Yeah.
I just know it's a well-attended, popular event to open for like good exposure. to the
Yeah.
community.
It's a thought, too late this year.
Yeah, but it can be a good avenue, yeah.
One thing I thought about, and keep this in mind, if you are ever talking to anybody who's looking for a donation, we could donate gift certificates for rental of the gym. And there's always things like that out there where people are asking for something, not, really big, silent auctions and things, and there's no reason we can't do that, so keep that in mind. It's a value of, say, 4 hours, that's $160. So I mean, it generates us traffic and goodwill, so keep that in mind as on some of these things.
All right.
Well, if there's nothing else, we can adjourn at 7:25.
Make a motion to, we have to put on anything.
I think we can just call it.
I'll go over here and be Jeff on the computer for a minute.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
And would you grab my book?
I did. I didn't know you were gonna be here. I was